Welcome back, Leapers. Welcome back to the Leapcast. Welcome back. I'm Dave's Dimension, aka Quantum Dave. We're back again for another exciting episode of the Leapcast where we'll discuss every single new episode of Quantum Leap 2022. That's what I'm calling it, guys. So, we had an amazing episode this week. I'll say this. Overall, it was an enjoyable episode. It kind of felt filler in some respects, but we got a lot of information, a lot of shocking information for the world of Quantum Leap. We'll get into that a little bit later. Now, normally I'm joined by super awesome geek show himself, John. Life happens, and I'm sure, he might pop in later, or he might pop in the chat. Things happen, and the show must go on. And, of course, maybe later on, we'll also have the Wolfpack toy review. Wolfpack's on the West Coast, so he's got the time crunch. He needs to get home. He needs to get some food, some sustenance into his system. Maybe say hello to his kids and the wolf mother. So, we'll probably be seeing Wolfpack a little bit later. So right now, guys, if anyone wants to join the Leapers, if anyone wants to hop on and discuss the latest and greatest episode with me, we have the StreamYard link is right pinned at the top of the chat, guys. So if you guys want to hop in, the door is open. The imaging chamber is open, as always, for anyone who wants to hop on in. We got Rolando Flores, and first, we have Ghost Warrior. Ghost Warrior hopped into the chat a little earlier. Let me just pull that right on up. I'm slacking today, guys. I'm slacking. Yeah, we had Ghost Warrior come in. He's saying, yeah, there was definitely something to talk about last night's episode, the way it ended. I like seeing Justin Hartley in the episode and look forward to seeing the Wild West episode next. A little teaser. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And, of course, he added a little something. What I'm mostly waiting on is the Joe Montana episode that was teased. I'm hoping that's an actual episode and not just kind of like something that they kind of threw to kind of grab the football fans. But we'll see what happens. He says his dad is a huge Montana fan, so that piqued his interest as well. Yeah, anyone who grew up in the '80s who wasn't a Joe Montana fan, right? So let's catch up. Let's see what is going on. Excuse me, guys. I'm still a little congested. We have, of course, Rolando popping in chat. We have the man, the myth, the author, the legend himself, William H. Grimsley. Yo, Dave, at work, I wanted to drop by. No worries. Make that money, man. Any way possible. Who else? Ferris SoCal says, who is Justin Hartley? He played one of the main characters in the episode last night, but he's kind of best known, those who are big comic book fans, or that is comic book shows. He was the Green Arrow on Smallville. He's also played in some soap operas and some dramatic shows. But yeah, he's known on that show, and I think he's been on, I don't know if it's one of those like This Is Us or A Million Ways. Something like that. He's appeared on some of those shows. I know him from he was Oliver Queen, aka Green Arrow on Smallville. Not the dark gritty Green Arrow, but he was more Playboy Green Arrow. He's actually a pretty likable character too. If you saw the episode, he was the guy with the blonde hair. We'll get into that in just a little bit. So we got Ferris SoCal hanging out with us, and we got Francis, of course, saying, "Hey guys, yeah, I'm flying solo. Well, I'm leaping solo right now. So if anyone wants to hop into the chat, you don't have to. If you don't have a camera or you don't want to show your face, you don't have to. Voices are allowed. We can hang out and maybe bounce a few thoughts off." Ferris says, "Oh, thanks. I got to see the outtakes if he was busted up while delivering those lines to a dude." I'm sure there was. Plenty of laughs. So let's start with the episode. Ben leaps into a female bounty hunter in the 80s, who, obviously he's getting hit on, and he's trying to, fight off the guy that even throws a drink at him. And Justin Hartley plays her, or Ben's, the person Ben leaped into, plays Ben Hartley, or Justin Hartley plays the boyfriend to Ben's person that he leaped into, and soon-to-be fiance. Yeah, Ben gets proposed by Justin Hartley, which is kind of funny. It was kind of fun and whimsical, and Addison was there, and she was there right away. That's the one thing that kind of throws me off about this new Quantum Leap. Although, we could write it off as the technology is much more advanced, the computer systems are much more advanced. One thing that kind of throws me off is, let's catch up. Francis says he'll be back in 30 minutes. Gotta go eat before I can be interactive enough. No worries at all. We'll still be here. One thing that throws me off is in the original show, for Sam, it would be maybe hours before Al would pop up to talk to him, to let him know, hey, I know where you are. You're in this year. You're this person, and we're postulating that this is what you're supposed to do in order to leap. That's not the case. I mean, literally, the hologram Addison, she's there within minutes. I mean, I don't know. It just seems a little. It kind of throws me off a little bit. That's just me personally. So Ben leaps into this female bounty hunter, got all kinds of weapons in her purse and everything, and he's like, things are a little like things kind of mirror each other a little bit, Like, of course, there's the thing where Ben doesn't remember who Addison really is to him, and it seems like some of the episodes are mirroring what's happening in the future and what's happening in the past, and I'm kind of digging that a little bit. Yeah, Fair says a little too quick to break up the awkward leap vibe. Yeah, I mean, there were times that I remember one of the first times Sam leaped into a woman, or there was one time he leaped into a cop who was undercover as a woman. But I mean, it would be like, oh, not again. Oh, look at this. We got the man, the myth, the Sith himself. We got Darth Blaze saying hello to Dave in chat. Hello to Darth Blaze. By the way, everyone, if anyone in this chat or on the replay, if you're not familiar with Darth Blaze is one of the best streamers around on YouTube or on Twitch. This man does video game streams. He does watch reviews. I know he was doing a reaction, kind of like a reaction watch stream of The Rings of Power, which is streaming on Amazon. So, guys, there's the link to Darth Blaze's channel. Please check him out. Do me a tremendous favor. He's family, man. He is family. So please check him out. We got Duffman's toy review, or Duffman's diorama. Duffman is in the house. Duffman is everywhere. Blaze is saying, appreciate it. No, man, it's all true, man. All on YouTube now. Appreciate him. Oh, he moved back from Twitch. Okay. But yeah, check out Darth Blaze. I almost said Darth Man. I'm so all over the place today, man. It's not even funny. So Sam would be, he would leap into the person and trying to figure out who they are or what to say or how to react. We don't get that with Ben leaping. I mean, it's obviously it's a different writing, and maybe they're trying to move it along because it seems like the leaping, like the person he leaps into, the mission that he's on, kind of takes a back burner because more of the focus seems to be on the present right now, and really it should be, at least how I'm viewing it. But we had very fun Quantum Leap that is, him trying to maneuver being a woman in the early 80s. Her, the father is a bounty hunter himself, and there's some hints and there's some mirroring because you get this couple who obviously they love each other a lot, but they're kind of distant, very similar to Addison and Ben. Ben doesn't remember Addison yet, and it's very interesting. Let's catch up on chat here. It's all good, Dave. I was just like that this morning. So Quantum Leap, something I check out. So Blaze, if you don't know, there was a show back in 1989 called Quantum Leap about scientists who he was building in a time machine, basically. But pressured to prove his theories or lose funding, he stepped into the Quantum Leap accelerator and vanished. He was leaping through time. He would wake up facing a mirror image that was not his own. He would wake up as someone else. inside their body, inside their life, and he was there to make right what once went wrong. And if he fixed what originally went wrong, then he leaped onto the next person and the next person. He was hoping each time that the next leap would be the leap home. This show ran for 5 years. It was a very cool, it was a sci-fi show without being a sci-fi show. And now they're continuing it almost 30 years later with a new person leaping through time. But there's a bit of conspiracy. They don't know why he stepped into the accelerator. You got Ernie Hudson in here. It's a fun continuation. It's not a reboot. It's a continuation of the original story. It's on NBC or Peacock. It airs every Monday night at 10 p.m. on NBC, or you can check it the next day on Peacock or the NBC app. So guys, check it out. He says, "Oh, that's that sounds like some fun." It is. Because the leapers, they never know who they're going to leap into. For one, they could leap into, a tall person, a short person. They could leap into a man, a woman, someone with special needs. I mean, there's kind of like this unknown element to it. Plus, the leapers, when they leap, not all their memories are there. When you leap through time, your brain becomes Swiss cheese, so you have gaps in your memory. Sometimes you might remember some things, and other times you might not remember other things. Can I watch this show, this new one, or do I have to go back to the 80s? You don't have to go back to the 80s. The first episode, because we're only on episode 4, the first episode kind of gives you a breakdown of everything. They had the original narrator do the breakdown of what the original show was about Dr. Sam Beckett stepping into the chamber, and he vanished, and Dr. Sam Beckett never leaped home. That brings you up to the new project, which was started by a man by the name of Magic Herbert Johnson. He was actually someone that Sam leaped into during the first series. And we find that this is a true continuation. There's breadcrumbs to the original series. You don't have to watch the entire first series. I mean, it's definitely something fun to do, and it's going to give you more background on the original show. But you don't have to watch the original show in order to watch this show, because it's a brand new team, a brand new set of people. You can pick it up just from episode 1. And it's got kind of like the original show focused mostly on Sam in the past. This new show focuses on the present in 2022 and the scientist Ben leaping through time. And there's a little bit more conspiracy theories to it. They're trying to figure out why he did this, and it seems other people were involved. And it's got a mystery element, so it's very fun. Let's catch up. Here. Can I want? Duffman says I want to go back to the 80s. Yeah, me too, man. I mean, Duffman, could you imagine if we were back then, knowing what we know now, like buy stock in Apple and Microsoft, man, we would be billionaires by now. Gotcha. That's really cool. I will check it out. Thanks for the recommendation. Always, man. And hey, Blaze, if one of these days you want to hop on and discuss one of the episodes, man, the imaging chamber is open to everybody here. And again, anyone who's watching, if you want to hop in, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Let's keep it going. Darth Blaze is like, the 80s were great, man. The 80s were awesome. It was scary sometimes, but it was awesome. Rich beyond our wildest dreams. Imagine, just think of all the Star Wars and all the G.I. Joe stuff we could buy and keep it in boxes and sell it on eBay for millions of dollars. But back to the story. So Ben is trying to get this one bounty, which they think that this girl's going to die. But it turns out she's actually really like a drug kingpin, or queenpin, I guess you could call it. But going back to the past, or going back to the present, things at Quantum Leap, they're trying to figure out that Al's daughter, Janice, what she's doing with inside their computers. She's hacking information, especially personnel files. So Magic decides that he should let Ian know secrets about him. Magic is the head of the project, and he was someone that Sam leaped into. And that's what Magic tells Ian. He tells Ian how after he became an admiral, he found out that his name was mentioned in some top secret files of some kind of weird hush-hush secret government project. And he pulled strings. And he found out why his name were in these files that were redacted and hidden in double secret encryption. He tells him that Sam Beckett leaped into his platoon, leaped into him. And his commander was Tom Beckett, Sam's brother. And that in the original timeline, Magic and everyone died. So if it wasn't for Sam, Magic wouldn't be alive today. And he goes on and he tells Ian, he says, I was in Vietnam. I was on patrol with my platoon, with my squad. And I just felt this presence. I felt this push. And I just kind of took a moment, and then I let that, I just opened myself up and let that push in. This is the first time we've actually heard someone describing the leap. So that push he feels is kind of like Sam's essence knocking in, and Magic kind of, for whatever reason, Magic let him in. Now, Magic, in the original show, in the one episode he appeared in, Magic was someone who kind of he was considered a good luck charm. That's why he has the nickname of Magic. Now, some people have guessed and theorized that maybe he has the level of ESP. And maybe feeling that knock is something that only someone with ESP would feel. That's one little theory. So he describes to Ian that he says, I was in tour Vietnam. I felt this kind of push, and I let the push in. And I woke up a couple days later. I didn't know what happened during those days. So that lets us know that there's no memories. That when someone leaped, when Sam leaped out and someone was back in their body, they had no memory of what had happened during those days, which begs there's a lot of conflict and a lot of conjecture about that. So let's catch up here. Tax evasion, RICO, so many of them were. Yeah, seriously, those damn parking tickets. I mean, hey, look at was it oh geez, how am I blanking on his name? Untouchables, Capone. Capone was taken down with tax evasion, I only want to go back if I know what I know now. Yeah, definitely. You want to go back without the Swiss cheese memory, basically. We got Ghost Warriors back. Ghost Warrior. And we have the White Shadow. The White Shadow knows. Only the Shadow knows. Hey, White Shadow. Welcome to the stream. I had to take care of something work-related, so I missed the beginning of the stream. No worries, Ghost Warrior. In fact, Ghost Warrior, if you want to hop in, usually I have Super Awesome Geek Show and Wolfpack Toy Review, but I guess things have turned up, so it's just I'm leaping solo tonight. So if anyone wants to hop in and chat, you want to hop on, talk a little Quantum Leap, that's what we're here for today. So, but like I was saying, it's the first time we're actually hearing a leaper give an actual account as to what happens. I mean, Magic was saying, for years, I had these vivid dreams of this person who was me for some reason. Someone who took over my body. I was dreaming about this person intermittently over the years, saying that it was Sam. And then years later, when he became the admiral, he got his hands on those files and he saw the picture of Sam Beckett. It was this man. He knew that whatever he had to do, Magic knew that he had to restart the project. Because Navy SEALs, they got this motto. I don't remember the actual Latin translation, but it's about not leaving. No, you don't leave no one behind. So Magic feels, he feels a life debt because if it wasn't for Sam, him and the rest of the squad would be dead. So all his fellow brothers would be dead. So there's that. 2, he's alive. He's had this full, long life that he wouldn't have had if Sam Beckett didn't leap. So he feels it's his obligation, it's his duty. I mean, one, to help out his brother Seal, Tom, and try and bring Tom's brother home. And to bring this person home that saved him. So that gives us, we finally see the motivation as to why Magic is the head of the project. I mean, he feels that he's on this journey that he, this is something he has to do. And I'm loving the character of Magic, and it's cool that we finally got some insight into Magic and a little bit more into the project. Everyone's dropping links. Thank you, Rolando, for dropping Duffman's Diorama's Instagram. And by the way, anyone who's in the chat here, this is a little off subject, but beginning next month, Duffman's Diorama and Dave's Dimension, the two double Ds, we are partnering up together, and we're going to be doing a charity fundraiser. Duffman's Diorama, he makes some amazing dioramas. As you can see, I'm a collector of many types of collectibles and action figures. He makes dioramas. It's in his name. A diorama, if you're not familiar with this, is kind of like a little stage background where you can pose your figures, but like on a street scene or maybe a building or something like that. He makes these from scratch, guys. Okay? He makes these from scratch. And he has already constructed one, which looks friggin' amazing, guys. I can't do it justice. Well, he's completing one. He's doing the final touches on one, if he hasn't already. And we're going to be doing a fundraising giveaway. $20 a chance. Okay, $20 a chance gets you one of his dioramas. We're going to do a drawing in early December. All the proceeds are going to go for Toys for Tots. Now, those that know me, Dave's Dimension, I'm a Ghostbuster. I'm actually part of a local charity cosplay group here in the Buffalo, New York area. And our main charity is Toys for Tots. So Duffman came up and reached out to me and says, hey, how about I build a diorama? And how about we do a giveaway? So it's going to be $20 a chance. The drawing is going to be taking place in early December. I mean, these dioramas, they look phenomenal. And speaking of phenomenal, well, why don't we take a little look at one right now? Okay. I'm going to pull up his Instagram right now. Take a look at like this castle diorama that he made for Darth Blaze. Take a look at that. He's got the lighting on here and everything. Duffman makes some, there you go. This is some of the behind the scenes of it where he started making it from scratch. Take a look at that. How many of us out there can say that they can do something that amazing? That's just one of them. He's done stuff with Gremlins. Gremlins at a casino? He's got lights. He makes all of this from scratch, guys. Okay? Take a look at that. How awesome is that? How many of you would love something like this? You're going to have your chance coming up in November. We're going to have all the details. We're going to be doing some live streams promoting this. This goes for Toys for Tots. This goes for those families who can't afford toys for their kids or for the holidays. This goes directly towards Toys for Tots. So, guys, please consider making a difference. And let's get back to the stream. What do you say? So, Quantum Leap, this episode was we really didn't gain a lot more information about Janice, which is Admiral Al Calavicci's daughter, who is on a mission of her own. Obviously, right now we're believing that she's on a mission to get Sam home. We know from the last episode that Ben has a trajectory. Okay, he's got a plan. These leaps are planned out, which gives us a lot of information, guys. Which gives us a ton of information that we never knew before. In the original show, the leaps were not controlled. Okay, we didn't know about anyone being able to control any leaps, with the exception of the evil project, but we won't get into that. The only time anyone ever had a controlled leap was actually, there's a few instances. One, the episode when Sam goes back home and leaps into his younger self for Thanksgiving. At the end of that episode, he wins the championship game for his high school, and he sees his brother Tom, and Al tells him, your brother Tom still dies in Vietnam. And we see Sam extend out his arm and shout and scream, Tom's name, and then he leaps. And where does he leap? His very next leap is in Tom's platoon in Vietnam, and ironically, he's got his hand extended like he did in the previous leap. Almost like he was willing himself that since his brother was going to die, he was willing himself to that point in time to save his brother. And he leaped into his brother's platoon, I think, a day or two before Tom would have died. That's one, and to me, I consider that controlling the leap. The other times were when Sam and Al simul-leaped, and Sam figured that he could leap into Al and bring Al back into the imaging chamber. So that's another time. And then the other time is when the very last episode of the original Quantum Leap series, when Sam says to the bartender, Al, he says, I owe Al, don't I? I need to make something right for Al. And that's when he leaps to Beth and tells Beth Al's coming home. He controlled his leap, and then after that, we never found out what happened to Sam Beckett. So those are some instances of someone controlling a leap. But now we know that due to some thumb drives and a hard drive from Janice's place, that there's a trajectory that Ben is trying to get to a certain point within the the space-time continuum itself. We don't know exactly where that point is, but we see a map of all these leap points. So we know he's eventually going to leap somewhere. It may take 10 to 20 leaps to get there. And speaking of that, guys, congratulations to Quantum Leap 2022. NBC just added another 6 episodes to the series for season 1. They are now standing at 18 episodes. They were originally filming 12 episodes, and that was going to be it. But they're adding another 6 episodes, so we get a full 18 episodes. So we get a full 1 season. So this helps improve Quantum Leap's chances right now. And for NBC to do that, I think is pretty tremendous all onto itself. For NBC to say, you know what? We like your ratings right now. We see some improvement. Here, we're going to give you an additional 6 episodes. And I swear to God, they got to get Scott back. I swear, I would love it if they could get Scott Bakula in there. That would be amazing. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. But we know that Ben was working with Janice. And we know that they have a plan to get Ben to a certain point in time. But Ben's brain is Swiss cheese, so he doesn't remember things. And speaking of remembering things, during this episode, he keeps having flashes of the previous episode when he was knocked out. He was having a flash in his head of waking up in a white bed with someone else there, but he couldn't recognize who that person was. Let's catch up here. Rolando's throwing Will's links in the chat. Thank you very much, Rolando. Rolando Flores. The mod of the multiverse. Ferris SoCal says, wow, those are good. Man, they are amazing. They are amazing. I mean, you know, he starts off with something like this. He actually makes those bricks. There's a little trick in the diorama community on how to do that, and then he makes it into this. That's amazing right there. I don't care who you are. But this episode kind of felt like a filler episode. We didn't get a whole lot. And at one point, I forget her name, the head of security for Quantum Leap, has a nice little talk with Addison that, you know, we need to figure out what's going on, why Ben was lying. And she tells her, we have credit card statements of Ben's. And it shows that he was in this place for this long time. And we think he was working with Janice at that point. We don't know why or how they met each other or what they were working on. There's a lot of what ifs. And Addison is trying to be the nice person, and she's trying to be like, there you go. White Show says huge fan of his work and tremendously. But Addison is trying to, you know, play the sympathetic, you know, holographic observer, trying to help Ben, but Ben feels kind of hell-bent on getting these two together, which is ironic because he is engaged to Addison, but he doesn't remember it. And Addison can't tell him because the project, the rules, the time. Ferris says, I got to run, but I think I caught a continuity error at the end. female bad girl shoots and spins the cylinder on a pistol. In the next scene, she's holding a pistol with a magazine. Check. I'm sure you are. I mean, there have been a lot of discrepancies with the show. I mean, not a lot, but there's been a few. There's been quite a few. I mean, some of the clothes aren't exactly accurate. That taser, I don't really think that was a thing in 1981, which I believe is when Ben leaps. I want to say that particular model of taser might have came a few years after that. So, and we really didn't know about tasers really until like the late 80s, early 90s. So, there's some questions about that. There's definitely some real questions. Suffice to say, Ben at the end of the episode kind of gets the couple back together. But who knows? We know that the rules when Sam leaped, now thanks to Magic's for eyewitness accounts, thanks to Magic kind of talking and telling Ian that I felt this push, but then I don't remember what happened to me those days. So that begs the question: with Ben leaping, does the people he leap into, do they remember anything, or are they blank slates? If that's the case, then the woman he leaped into won't have any memory as to why her and the guy are actually getting engaged now, because in the original history, they didn't. They parted their ways, but they never married anyone else. So, obviously they cared for each other. So, I mean, there's a big crack in how things are being done. There's a lot of unanswered questions. The big thing that freaks me out about Quantum Leap right now is that there's a program running the leaps. Speaking of craziness, we got the Wolfpack toy review. Everyone give them a howl. I want to see wolf emojis in the chat for Wolfpack, guys. Yeah, Wolfpack, we're just recapping last night's episode. We talked a little bit about Magic's revelation, talking to Ian, explaining what happened to him, his experience as someone who was leaped into. I mean, to me, that was probably, I think that was the highlight of the episode. That and Ben's revelation. What I'm talking about when I guys, those that don't know, Ben, after a few little breaks of memory, he finally remembered who Addison is to him. Right before he leaps. He realizes that, wait a minute, because he saw the ring on her hand, right? He saw the engagement ring. So he had asked her in the first episode, who's the lucky guy? She's like, oh, just someone. She wouldn't tell him. And, he says, it's me. And she says, yes. And, he's like reaching out to her. I mean, she's a hologram. And right after that, he leaps. And he leaps into the Old West, the actual Old West. It looks like he leaps into a Native American in what could be maybe the late, like 1880s, 1890s, maybe even 1901. Who knows? But it's like Old West. He's got the full Old West gear. He walks out of what appears to be what could be a farmhouse, but then walks out into an Old West street, like something out of Fistful of Dollars or Back to the Future 3. And like the scope of everything just looks fantastic. And looking in the background, I see a big mountain in the background, and I'm almost thinking, could that be the mountain where the original Project Quantum Leap was? That was just a crazy thought I had in my head. But no, I thought it was a pretty good episode. It wasn't the best. This was kind of like the first 3 episodes were kind of like on a roller coaster. We're getting all the way up, and this one was kind of like a dip. It was a dip. It had its good moments. I think we need that. Think we need some slowed down episodes once in a while. And speaking of once in a while, we have a leaper in the house.
Just give me 1 sec. Sorry, guys.
We got Scott Garrison here. Let's give him a few moments here. So we got a fellow leaper in the chat. Oh, in the video chat in a few moments.
Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm Ghost Warrior 38. Because I guess something that happened on your end for authentication parts, it had to have me either log in with YouTube or Facebook. So I had to log in with Facebook. So that's why
Yes.
I'm not on my other account.
Yeah, StreamYard does that. Well,
Gotcha.
welcome to the Leapcast. So,
Thank you.
have you been watching all the episodes?
Yes, I am currently caught up, and I'm just waiting on the next episode. Needless to say, I'm very excited for the
Now,
show. I will be honest, I was a little
on the
hesitant
fence,
at
right? Yeah.
first. But having watched the show up till now, I can say with confidence that I'm actually really enjoying it so far. I like Ben as a character. I was certainly surprised earlier to find out that it was supposed to be his wife that was going to
Addison
be the
was supposed to be
Leaper,
the Leaper, and he was going to be the hologram. So
exactly.
I mean, but
Yeah.
now, were you a fan of the original show?
Yes, I made some comments on some of your early episodes on from my YouTube profile about having gotten into the show recently because I
Okay.
purchased the complete collection from Walmart, so I'm
Okay.
still working my way through it.
Okay.
I'm working towards the middle and end of season 1. I haven't been able to watch a whole lot of it because of my work schedule. I don't get a lot of free time.
I get that. I get that completely. Life does not slow down. Now, I will say this. The show after season 1, obviously the special effects get a little bit better. I mean, it was 1989 when the first season came out. So, you know, you got that. But, I mean, you're going to love it. You're in for an insane ride. And also there's some pretty intense stories considering the late 1980s, early 90s, some of the storylines that they tackle. I mean, just wait until you get to season 3 and season 4. It's like turning up the dial up to 11. I mean, it gets. I mean, we get to deal with other leapers. We get to deal with impossible choices. We get more into Sam's background. We get more into Al's background, and you get more in depth, and you're gonna love it. But the new series, as an original fan, because I watched the show originally when it actually aired. As a kid, I watched it with my mother, in fact, and the episodes. I mean, it's a different beast. Comparing the original series to this series, it's a different beast. But I like a lot of the changes. Not all the changes are perfect. Not every show is perfect, but also we're only in the first 4 episodes. You know, I've seen a lot of hate on Facebook groups about the show. I'm like, you know what? It's not the same show. It's a different show. It's a continuation within the universe, you know? Say hello to Geek Strong. Geek Strong's in the house. Haven't seen the episode yet, so I'll catch the rewatch when you talk about the latest episode. No worries, Geek Strong. Thank you for popping in, Dino. Yeah, I mean, it's a different beast, and I like that we're getting a good chunk of the show is being in the present, trying to unravel this mystery. Why did Ben step into the accelerator? What is this destination point that Ben is heading towards? What exactly is Janice doing? And you saw at the end of the previous episode.
Yes.
She's building, and now most people think it's an imaging chamber. What do you say? Do you think it's an imaging chamber, or could it be something else?
Honestly, anything's possible. I'd have to rewatch it again because I also purchased some of the older episodes digitally. But just going at it from the one time I've seen it, it's possible. So that could be interesting to see what she does with the imaging chamber. If that's what it is.
Well, what makes me think that that's what a couple people think that that's what it is, because one, we see that I still can't believe that she friggin' drugged her mother in the previous episode so she could get her father's belongings, including a hand link. So that makes me think that if she's using that hand link, one, she's going to be able to access Ziggy remotely, which she already is. But if she's using that, she could be building an imaging chamber so she could project to Ben but in such a way that Addison can't see the hologram. So that's going to be interesting, because the original show, the way that Sam was always able to see Al was because Al was tuned to the mesons and neurons and the brainwaves, basically, for Sam. That's why only he could see Al, although that rule was bent in later seasons, and you'll find out eventually. But I mean, it's interesting. I'm still trying to wrap my head around, is she doing all this to bring Sam back? Is she doing it to bring Sam back, or does she have another ulterior motive? See, that's what makes me, because obviously she wants to fulfill her father's dying wish, probably to bring Sam back. That's what most people are viewing, and I'm sure that that's what it is. But another part of me is wondering, because Project Quantum Leap refused to bring her in because of her psych profile. And in one of the first episodes, they mentioned that Janice's psych profile felt that she was too close to Sam and Al. Like, she would be too emotionally invested in the project to work out. So that makes me wonder, a woman scorned can do a lot of things. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe she goes on her own little mission through time. I was almost thinking that what she was building was an accelerator. Maybe a makeshift rinky-dink, maybe it only pulls off one leap, but I was thinking that maybe it could have been an accelerator. But John, Super Awesome Geek Show, and a few others mentioned that no, they think it's an imaging chamber, and an imaging chamber does make more sense. To me, the imaging chamber makes a bit more sense, but I just hope that they kind of bring back the original door. That's what I'm hoping for. But what did you think of this episode on a scale of 1 to 10?
For me, I'd have to give it definitely an 8.5.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it compared to some of the others, although I did like the boxing episode as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool seeing Justin Hartley as another bounty hunter, and it was definitely interesting to have Ben as a woman. But then again, we also got that with Sam as well in the original show as well. And from what I understand, several times, in fact.
Oh, yes, several times. But we didn't get the cringe factor that we got with Sam in the first series.
No, not at all.
I mean, yeah, Ben is in 2022. Maybe it wasn't his first time wearing women's underwear. We don't know. We don't judge. But I mean, that's one thing that I definitely think is missing, is that confusion. That kind of like, Sam would be like scrounging for a newspaper or trying to look around and see if he can kind of like, like, wait a minute, this wasn't around until such and such year, like trying to pace and figure out where he is. But maybe with the next episode, the Old West, maybe this is where we're going to see some of that with Ben. And I think they really should start introducing that kind of, because that's where a lot of comedy came from. Scott Bakula was and is amazing at comedy. I mean, his background is theater. I mean, he's an amazing actor, and that's one of the things that made so many of us love the character of Sam Beckett and love the actor Scott Bakula, because he was so versatile and he was very genuine in the Boy Scout persona that he portrayed, But like he, like especially how he would say "oh boy" in different ways was just hilarious in some spots. Like, you would get like Sam talking to Al, and people around him are like, "Who are you talking to?" We're not getting that with Ben. We're really not getting that. I mean, there's been one or two instances of that happening, but we're not getting that for the most part, which is kind of, I don't know, it kind of throws things off. But also, I'm a fan of the original show. Back in my head, I still want certain things to happen because of the original show. But the fact that they threw out the rules, that there is no more leaping within one's lifetime, they threw out all the safeguards. So anything and everything is possible. I mean, if we could get Ben leaping to the Old West, What's to stop Ben from leaping to? I mean, we had spoilers. Sam leaped into the Civil War once. He leaped into an ancestor of his in the Civil War, believe it or not.
Yeah, that was, I want to say, like his great-grandfather or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, he leaped into his great-grandfather. So, see, with the rules, I mean, we could have Ben leaping into one of his ancestors. Hell, we could have Ben leaping into one of Addison's ancestors. That would really screw things up. I mean, we could, I mean, hell, what's to say we don't get a leaper in King Arthur's court, you know? Anything's possible. We had Ben, I mean, to me, my favorite episode, and this is just because I'm such a geek, is the Space Shuttle episode. Because for a 1 hour episode, they made, I don't know where they filmed or where they got those props, but that looked like a real damn space shuttle to me. They killed it with the effects. They killed it with the Space Shuttle episode. And of all things, in the entire legacy or mythos of Quantum Leap, we never saw Sam do anything like Ben did. Leaping off the space shuttle further into space with no guarantee of hitting the mark of grabbing that space station. And to me, that was a badass moment because Edison says, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm controlling the leap." I'm like, to me, that threw me off a little bit, and that made me wonder. It made me wonder just a little bit. Could Ben have other motivations? Could that be more of Ben's subconscious kind of coming out? He might have ulterior motives for why he's going to that trajectory that him and Janice have set up. I mean, we know very little about his past. We know that he was Korean. Was it Korean or I want to say Korean, and he immigrated, but we don't know at what age he immigrated in. Who knows? Maybe he has a secondary target to find his family in the past. We don't know. Any number of things are open when it comes to Quantum Leap now. But I'm digging the show. I'm blown. I woke up to the amazing news that NBC added another 6 episodes, so we get 18 episodes this year. How do you feel about that? Ghost?
Definitely. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to hear that it was getting an extended count. I'd have to say, considering we're getting the 18 episodes right now, was that about the length of what season 1 of the original show was, or is that a bit longer?
I want to say that could be longer. I'm actually checking the facts on that right now.
Okay.
But that also, as a writer's perspective, think of it this way. Okay, you're running a show. You have a story to tell within those 12 episodes that you're given. So you maybe by this point you've already written your episodes, right? So now you're being given an extra 6 episodes. So what do? Do you rewrite some of the episodes? Maybe you haven't filmed them yet. Some episodes are not always filmed in sequence, in order. So it begs the question, did they already have kind of a season finale for episode 12? Or did they kind of leave it open-ended so they can kind of continue the story a little bit longer? Because we know that the trajectory is going to be between 10 to 20 leaps, according to Addison and the rest of the project. They don't know for sure. It could be between 10 and 20. So I just pulled up, I just Googled it. Season 1, 9 episodes. 9 episodes for season 1. It began with Genesis Part 1 and Part 2. Star-Crossed, How the Test Was Won, Double Identity, The Color of Truth, and Kamikaze Kid, and of course Play It Again Seymour, which is a really fun episode, by the way. But yeah, they only had 9 episodes for the first season.
But it was a very well done 9 episodes. Yeah. Personally, my favorites outside of was the pilot, the opening episode was Play It Again. Seymour.
Let me see. I'm double checking everything here. Soundtrack. Yeah, there was only nine episodes in the first season, and then
Wow.
each season thereafter had 22 episodes. So to give a show, figure that's 1989. There's a lot of stuff. NBC was mostly sitcoms back then. Okay, so for them to kind of like say, okay, 9 episodes, wow, you really performed fantastic. We're going to give you 22 now. We're giving you full seasons. And I mean, to get 22 episodes a season is pretty amazing right there. So it had a total of 97 episodes altogether. So, I mean, the original Quantum Leap, I mean, they won several Primetime Emmy Award. Let me see, Golden Globe, they actually won a few Golden Globes throughout the series. But Scott Bakula, he did win Best Actor a couple times. But yeah, I mean, the fact that in this day and age, NBC's like, okay, we're giving you 12 episodes, and after the third or fourth episode, we like what you're doing, so here, we're going to add another 6 episodes to your, I mean, to me, that gives me a good sign. I'm a little disappointed in one thing. In the original series, we never really heard Ziggy talk to Al, right? Not really, except for that one episode. Outside of that, I really wish that they would have Ziggy talking to Addison, through her little hand link. And I can't wait for her to get rid of that hand link. There's a new hand link that's going to be coming out with, which is going to look more Quantum Leapish. Speaking of, let's take a look here. We got, Rolando with the facts. Season 1, 9 episodes. Seasons 2 through 5, 22 episodes right there. And by the way, I got to give a big shout out to my brother from another mother, my man, Rebels, Reptiles, and Games. Saying what's up, Dave? Rebels, Reptiles, and Games, amazing YouTuber. Every Wednesday night, 7 p.m., he does an amazing live stream. It's an awesome hangout. Ghost, if you love like G.I. Joes and just retro toy goodness, he's got an awesome channel right there. Rebels does some pretty amazing stuff right there. So you might want to check him out. We got Duffman saying hello to everybody. Saying hello to Rebels. Everyone's saying hello. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the Wild West episode. I always love the Old West. In fact, out of Back to the Future, which is I'm a big fan of it. I always love Back to the Future 3, them going to the Old West. I mean, time travelers, getting stuck in the Old West. I mean, I'm hoping we're going to have I hope this is going to be maybe a more lighthearted episode. And the fact that Ben's going to, 1, have to fire a gun, and 2, he's going to have to quick draw somebody. Probably at high noon. It is reminiscent. I will say this. I will acknowledge that some haters out there, some people putting down the new Quantum Leap, saying that a lot of these episodes are mirroring episodes from the original series. Because Sam leaped into a boxer once, okay? He leaped into not the Old West, but a Wild West shootout. Like one of those tourist attractions where people dress up and they do the stunt shows. He leaped into someone like that once. So, I mean, some people are hating on that, and I could see where they can get a little hate from, but I'm loving the show. I also think that I'm hoping that they start writing Ben a little bit more, a little bit better. I don't want to say that they're writing him terribly, but I think that he needs to, I don't know, like maybe he needs to be a little bit more lost like Sam was. It took Sam a while to get the hang of leaping, And Sam being a scientist, being a doctor, he could use a lot of his science stuff, but it took Addison in this episode to remind him, like, you can pick this lock. You used to take apart electronics and toys and stuff all the time and figure them out. And then that's when his memory kind of kicked in and he started to remember certain parts of a lock and stuff, it just seems like Addison's having to kind of give him the push or like say, oh, by the way, you can do this. I mean, there were times when Al did that in the original show, but it just feels like, I don't know, it's not feeling natural, at least not yet. Let's catch up. And by the way, Rolando's throwing your link into the chat to help out your channel.
And
what kind of channel do you have?
Hey, I did have a question though.
Yes.
It's about what you said about magic and how he talked in the episode when he was over in Vietnam and how Sam leapt into his body to magic in his platoon. Did we ever get an episode in the original series where Sam went to Vietnam? Like, did that ever play out in the original, or is that just something they brought to?
No, that scene, the scenes that they show of a young Magic in Vietnam, those are taken directly from the episode of Quantum Leap that they're talking about. They took the original footage of that episode and they cleaned it up. They made that HD as hell. That's one thing I was going to bring up. Universal, they spent money on updating the video quality of that to make it look like it was updated. When they show Magic in a bar, that's Sam's reflection. That's Sam looking in the mirror image and seeing Magic. That is directly taken from that episode. So everything that like you see, like, you know, Magic in Vietnam, that's all footage from the original series from when Sam leaped into him.
Oh, okay. I guess the reason why I asked that is because I guess I have never seen that episode yet. I don't know if that.
Not yet, but trust me, you'll love it because it's part of it's actually a two-parter. Because Sam, not to spoil it, but I already did earlier. Sam leaps into his teenage high school self right before this big championship game that his high school originally lost. And it also happens to be the last Thanksgiving before Tom ships out to Vietnam. And Sam tries to fix a few things. They just get worse and worse. And right at the end of the episode, Al tells Sam that his brother still goes to Vietnam and still dies. And Sam extends out his arms, shouts out his brother's name, and he leaps. But then he lands in his brother's platoon in the same hand motion, but now he's Magic with all the military gear, and he's warning the platoon about the Viet Cong, and you know he saves them, and he saves them a few times throughout the episode. So you know the footage they show Tom Beckett, they show the actor who played Tom Beckett in the episode. I mean, everything is original archived footage from the original Quantum Leap, and they made it look amazing. And we got to say hello to a few other rock stars in the house. Of course, we got Wolfpack says finally off work. Hey, make that paper, man. You got to get those toys, get those figs. White Shadow still hanging out, saying hello to Blue Eyes. We got Blue Eyes in the house. Blue Eyes is the better half of Rebels, Reptiles, and Games, a.k.a. Drunk Eyes. Everybody say hello to Drunk Eyes. We got Colbane Games, the Gunpla master himself, the Gun Daimyo. Everyone's coming in, hanging out. Yeah, we're talking a little bit of Quantum Leap tonight. We got Ghost Warrior here. Ghost Warrior 38's hanging out, filling in for the leap for our regular leapers. Super awesome geek show. Must have had something come up. He couldn't come through, but we got Ghost Warrior. What's something you want now? You as a new leaper, you as someone coming into the show recently, what would be some now based on what you said you've seen most of the first season, right? So based on that, what would be some things or some time periods you might want to see Ben leap into? Ghost, are you there? Did we lose him?
Yeah, just give me a sec. I had to refresh my feed because sometimes some of what you were.
No worries. Take your time.
Now. And refresh.
We got Vern Oker Studios, the master head swapper in the house. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Vern, the man, the myth, the head swapper himself, Oker Studios. So, Vern, did you watch this week's episode? Just talking to the chat here. So, what would be Ghost? What would be a time like a a time period or a year or some historical event you might want Ben to leap into. Oh, we lost Ghost. Hopefully he'll pop back in with us. Again, guys, if anyone wants to hop into chat, if anyone wants to hop on, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Now, some people say this episode was a bit of a slowdown, but I think that's good. You don't want nonstop action, I don't think. So, I mean, I'm liking the episode. I can't wait for the Old West. I do apologize that I didn't get any screen grabs. We kind of had some chaos here in the dimension. So I was kind of running around. I was making dinner for the wife and just trying to get some things done. So I do apologize. No screen grabs this week. I'll try and do better next week. But yeah, I'm digging the show, man. I'm digging Quantum Leap. I have questions. I want to know, where is Ben heading towards as far as the time continuum? What time period is it going to be? Are they going to find Sam? Are they going to just miss Sam? It's like, we want to see. Haven't watched this week's episode. The last one I saw was the boxer one. I'm a bit behind. No worries, White Shadow. I mean, it's one thing I like is you don't just have one storyline, because the original show, the main theme was, okay, Ben, trying to get Sam to leap home, hoping each next leap is the leap home. But now we got two storylines. We got Ben. We know Ben is on a trajectory to a destination. Okay, we know that the destination is somewhere in time. We just don't know exactly where. But then we also have the conspiracy theory. We're trying to figure out, what the hell is Janice trying to do? Why is she hacking into the project, and what is the project going to do? Obviously, they're not just going to let her do whatever the hell she wants. We know that's not going to happen. Duffman says, chaos reigns supreme here. Always. This is the channel where chaos and insanity reigns supreme. And also your home for tech, toys, and talk, which we're going to, I think, one Quantum Leap wraps up. I think we're actually going to be, we're going to be moving on to some other shows. I think that's going to be part of the future of Dave's Dimension right now. Honestly, the content, we've been getting a lot of reviews doing these live streams. So we're still going to be doing videos, but I also have some new tech coming our way. Let's just say somebody's going to be getting rid of his S21 Ultra very soon and moving on to something a little bit bigger and better. And we're going to be reviewing some tech toys to go with that new accessory, and I'll let you guys in on that in a future episode. We got Paul here. I hope that's how you say your name, Paul. Are there any chance Janice could be this series' evil leaper? Now, see, I mentioned that in previous streams. You might want to check out some of the previous streams too. I mentioned a possibility. What if, because Janice was scorned, because she was rejected by the project, what if her building this, whatever this is, whether it's a pseudo accelerator or if it's some kind of imaging chamber, what if she actually begins the project that is the evil Project Quantum Leap, the evil version of Project Quantum Leap, which had a computer named was it Lothor, I think it was. Because we know that the evil project, if you're fans of the original series, we know the evil project had there's even mentions that they take place further in the future. We don't know how further. It could be 30 years further in the future. We don't know. I mean, that would be kind of amazing. That does she actually begin the evil project? And if it wasn't for Sam stepping into the accelerator, would there even be an evil project in the future because of that? That maybe because of Janice's, urge, her father's dying wish to get Sam home, that, that drives her to be a part of the project, but she gets rejected, and thereby she makes her own version of Project Quantum Leap, but an evil one. I mean, that would be an amazing twist and a half. I would love that. A lot of people weren't fans of the evil leapers, but you figure if someone's going through time, making things right that once went wrong, just like yin and yang, you got to have positive, you got to have negative, right? And there's the infamous Boogie Man episode where Sam leaps into a horror writer who is, he believes he's talking to Al, but then Al picks him up by the throat and lifts him. It's actually the devil. The devil in the form of Al lifts Sam up by his throat and says, who the hell told you to go leaping through time, making things right that I made wrong? I mean, it's an amazing scene. It's an awesome scene. It's an amazing, just blows you away. But yeah, speaking of blowing things away, we got the Wolf Doggy Dog himself. Wolfpack Tour Review, guys. Throw some wolf emojis in that chat. Show him some love.
What's up, Leapcasters? We're back. We're back for another week, Dave.
So, how did you like this week's episode?
You know, I said it last week. They're getting progressively better. Yeah, it started off at the bar, and he leaped in like John was talking about last week. Yeah, for like a split second, it looked like he leaped into a gay bar because he's wearing the hot pink strap and all that stuff, right? Because at first you didn't see anything but dudes, and then the crowd kind of widens out. But that was pretty good.
Could have been Club 54. We don't know.
Hey, yeah,
or Studio 54.
One thing that I'm really liking is that they always give some kind of a landmark, some kind of a landmark in time as to where they're at. You know, with the you saw with the Prince Charles and Diana wedding was 81. I remember that because it was recently in something else too. And I just when he took over, they were talking about that. I was like, damn, that's before I even came into the majors. And
they didn't just drop that as a one-off little hint. The father talks about, like, you know, every father kind of dreams. You might think this is sappy, but every father kind of dreams of his daughter being a princess. You know, I'm like, so you're kind of carrying that, and I think in a way that's kind of like a nice nod in a way, given that the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. So I mean, that's kind of like, it's kind of, it's nice to kind of like look back at history kind of thing. But I'll say this: my highlights of this episode was Magic talking about, because this is the first time we get a firsthand account of someone who had been leaped in.
Yeah.
Now it makes me wonder, because of his ESP, because of that sense of his, is that maybe that's how he felt Sam, and he let Sam come in, so to speak, because he says, I felt a push.
Yeah.
And I let that push in. Now, question is that because of his sense, or do you think everyone felt that?
I'm gonna say everyone. I'm gonna say everyone. That actually was really a question that got answered, at least for the revamp version.
Yeah.
Of what it is that happens.
We always wondered in the original show, like, do they remember? And he says, I don't know anything that happened that day, but I had dreams of this man, and maybe those dreams, for all we know, those were the memories kind of seeping back in, the Swiss cheese effect kind of happening. But I mean, that was a major plus for me, because we never had that. And then for him to say, I had these dreams of this man's face, and then I find who that man is, and like it's like it put him on a mission now, because he wants to do, he considers Sam a brother.
Yeah. So that kind of shows the passion, or why he's got the passion that he has for
that.
Something that happened 30 years ago.
He wouldn't have been there. None of his fellow SEALs would have been around. And tell me, Universal and NBC did not take out a bunch of money to upgrade the HD on that video. I'm like, yo, they cleaned it. Because first I was like, maybe they got someone similar to that actor. I'm like, no, they cleaned up that damn footage like Blu-ray, man. I'm like,
yeah.
Are y'all about to? Are they going to drop a Blu-ray version of the original Quantum Leap on me? Am I going to have to drop some money now?
That'd be nice. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I was watching it on the mobile at work. But you didn't see Sam's face. You saw the machine gun kind of sweeping, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I can't remember seeing Sam's face. We saw the actor who obviously played Tom.
Yeah.
We saw Tom's face. We saw Magic. We didn't see Sam's face, which tells me that maybe for certain footage, Scott Bakula's likeness is not being permitted, because we saw the hologram of Sam in the first episode, but those are from promo shots that they used on the DVDs and for the show and everything. So there might be a little bit of question to that. But
yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
it's an easy fix in the edit. There's still footage on Back to the Future with Eric Stoltz as Marty.
Oh yeah,
McFly,
there's a lot of scenes that in the movie with Stoltz instead of Michael J. But I'm actually going to rewatch all 4 episodes this Friday because I'm taking Friday off. It's Dave's Dimension's birthday weekend, so I gotta.
Oh, nice.
I'm taking Friday off. And get some stuff done around the house, and rewatch some Quantum Leap.
Yeah. Hey, well, early happy birthday! Don't forget to take some you time, brother.
Oh yeah. Well, the wife is she offered herself. She's sacrificing herself this weekend. She does not like horror movies, nor haunted houses, and she's taking her husband and a few other people to a haunted house this weekend. So she's going to go through a haunted house. So I know I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah,
I'm going to pay for it later.
I like how you said that in the third person. That was good.
Oh yeah,
good little touch.
But we got there's no mention of the waiting room or Sammy Joe. Yeah, hopefully we're going to find out. We don't know what happens with the leapers, or the leapies, I should say, the leapies, because the leaper is the one doing the leaping, and the leapies is who Sam would leap into. So yeah, we don't know Sammy Joe. For all we know, Sammy Joe could be working behind the scenes with Janice. Or Sammy Joe could be in the background of the project, and she's kind of like a mole. We don't know. There's no mention of Sammy Joe Fuller right now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We don't know if she's a part of the project. They might have said, you know what? Because we know that you're Sam Beckett's daughter. You have a personal interest. I'm sorry, we can't let you be a part of the project. Okay? So there's that. There's that alone. The waiting room. We don't know. We don't know if there's a waiting room. Are they sedating the leapies? We don't know. We don't know none of that right now. There's still a ton we don't know. Now, how do you feel that we work in an extra 6 episodes?
Hey,
to kind of sprinkle and enrich the story a little bit more.
Yeah, no, the internet won. People, shouting their concerns in a positive way for once. Yeah, shout out to us. The good guys won one.
Hey, 13th man. It's Hey, but I woke up. I'm like, oh, okay. After 4 episodes, they're already saying, hey, we're going to give you an extra 6. I'm like, okay, we'll take it. Yeah. But like I was talking to Ghost Warrior 38 earlier, it's interesting because, from a writer's perspective, if I'm a showrunner or if I'm a writer, I'm going to kind of I won't have everything written out, but I'll have like, okay, this, and this kind of have like an outline where I want this story or the season to go. Crap. Now I got 6 more episodes to play with, man. I mean, I'm going to be doing some rewriting like crazy, but with that, obviously the NBC is throwing some more money at them too, I would imagine. Well,
you don't think they already kind of had the storyline kind of laid out, just waiting for possibly the green light to move forward? Well, who knows? I mean,
it all depends. Yeah, I mean, that could be the case, and who knows? Maybe, Martin Martin Giroux. Maybe he kind of like called up Don Belisario, like, they give me 6 more episodes. Do you have some thoughts?
Don Belisario was gonna say, hold out for 10. Hold out for 10.
Well, I mean, like we talked earlier, the original series the first season only had 9 episodes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, that says NBC has a lot of faith in the show, even though it's in a crap time slot. I still say that. I still say it's a crap time slot. Let's just catch up here. Catching up on chat. We got Dartez in the house. Can at the moment, Duffman about to eat. He said, come on in, the link is pinned at the top of the chats. And Duffman's diorama, I don't know if you heard. Duffman is partnering with me. We're going to be doing a diorama raffle. Nice. Early December, $20 a shot. But it's for one of his custom dioramas that he made. And it looks, I mean, anyone who does NECA, anyone who does Marvel, this is going to be the perfect. It's the perfect scene for anyone.
This is my ears are at attention. I'm a NECA and a Marvel guy.
So I mean, it's he's shown it on a few streams already too. Let me see if I can pull up that image real quick. But I mean, it's amazing. Like Here, let me just pull this up. This is slightly unfinished. Geez, what the hell? What's going on here? The image is blinking out for some reason. Disappearing image. He did a little Back to the Future one here. Like, I mean, come on, for something like that, yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, not bad, Duffman, not bad.
So, I mean, and all the proceeds, Toys for Tots. So that's why we're doing it.
Sweet.
He says Dartaz says his birthday weekend's next weekend, not this weekend, but the weekend after, because we're all October birthdays.
Happy birthday! Happy early birthday, Taz.
Those Libras got to keep everything together. White Shadow says happy early 21st. Yeah, I'm already past my second 21st birthday, so yeah.
I like to call it the anniversary of turning 21. You know, you just kind of you're on your 19th anniversary of turning 21.
Ghost Warrior says he just wanted to thank me for letting him be in the stream. No, anytime. These streams, any stream I do is an open stream. Anyone and everyone's welcome. If you're a hater, not so much.
It's true.
There's enough. Like, honestly, I was in one of the Facebook groups for Quantum Leap. There's just a lot of hate. Like, I reached out to some of the admins. I'm like, someone did a post, reasons why Quantum Leap will be canceled.
Huh. I mean, people are just looking for the clickbait, or
some people, man, that's all their life is about shade. I mean, come on, life's too short.
Definitely. One of the things is one of the biggest things for me to start like in this show was if the lead actor could have the charm that a Sam Beckett had. Now we've said a bunch of times on here that there will be no other Scott Bakula. The back was the back, right?
I mean,
but yeah, no, he
needs to kind of make it. I think he needs to break out of his shell a little bit, or at least the writers need to break Ben out of his shell, I should say. Because an actor can only do what's on the paper, you know.
Yeah, slowly he's doing it in the bar scene where he had to hold his own against the sleazebag guy. I kind of like the way he handled himself there. He didn't like break character, but he didn't also try to
the punch.
Yeah,
when he knocked him out, he's like, Justin Hartley's like, wait a minute, have you been boxing lately? Actually, I have.
Wait, is he from Bates Motel?
Justin Hartley, he was. Did you ever watch Smallville? Like the later seasons, he was Green Arrow.
Not the late. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, okay, yeah. Last week you talked about that it was gonna be Green Arrow as
he was in Green Arrow, and he's been in like some like the. I don't want to say the chick flick shows, but like he's been on like was it 1,000 Ways or one of those This Is Us or something like that.
Gotcha. And then Tammy and later Carla. I was like, is this Bridget Moynihan doing a Texas accent? What's going on here? Yeah, she was. That accent was too heavy. You knew something was up. You knew something was up with her. Good actress. I liked her.
Well, I like that we're getting like, okay, they didn't just grab like some schmuck off the street. Like, hey, I'm trying to get my big break. No, they're pulling in some pretty likable characters. I wouldn't mind seeing Justin Hartley come back, but what if he was actually like someone had a couple people asked about like evil leapers? What if he was a leaper? Unbeknownst.
He did kind of have that heart of gold like Sam. So.
Yeah. I mean, like honestly, like someone like that, I mean, I could see someone doing like I think he would be good in show, but I mean, I'm not saying recast Ben, but with the way Quantum Leap is, with the software update that Ben did, all the rules, all the safeguards of Quantum Leaping are out the friggin' window. I mean, we're going to the Old West.
Yeah, confirmed.
We have a trajectory, and for the first time, it dawned on me after last week's episode. After last week's stream ended, it popped up in my head. I came to a realization. I'm like, wait a minute, Ziggy's controlling the leaps for the very first time because of that trajectory. Ziggy's run like every time a leap happens, Ziggy is running those coordinates through for the next leap. Like everything's hard locked, but Ziggy's the computer that runs Project Quantum Leap. So in a way, Ziggy is controlling the leaps now. Yeah. It also made me wonder, like with the evil leapers and everything. I know it's still too early for that, but with the evil leapers, could, Ziggy controlling the leaps, is this the beginning of Lothos down the line? And was it Ferris? No, it was I think White Shadow or something, or Pow, that had mentioned about, could we see evil leapers? Ferris says, Dave, don't forget Al is getting dragged away as a prisoner that he was supposed to save. That is probably one reason why Sam owes Al a favor. Yeah, Sam, because I talked about the final episode where Sam turns to bartender Al and says, I owe Sam, or I owe Al, don't I? But see, I always, like, one thing, Ferris, I always thought was, what if Al was actually saved by magic? But that version of Al wouldn't be able to tell magic, and magic wouldn't know until they were much, much older, and Al was already a part of the project.
You mean kind of save him like as a POW from
Yeah, like, who knows? I mean, for all we know, magic was assigned to the platoon that saved Al, especially if they crossed paths at that point in time.
Well, yeah,
anything's possible.
It could technically happen, but I remember in that particular episode, they brought it up that he would have been free now, and and he's like, well, I was free, and
I was,
yeah, but
I mean, to me, that was like, back then, that was like, I mean, there were some very serious episodes, but that just like, that kind of like, that just kind of grabs your heart. You're like,
because I mean, we're at the time we're only 20 years removed from the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
So there's some veteran that probably was a prisoner of war that's touching, or someone that had family members that were MIA or possibly didn't even come back. So it was touching people in very different angles.
Oh, it was, because, well, my father was a Vietnam vet. And I mean, he told me stories, there's a lot that he told me about, friends of his. I mean, when my dad passed away, he was the last of, like his platoon, of his group. I mean, for a number of years, a lot of his friends had passed away. He was the only one left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, I mean, my dad, he was 73 when he passed. So he would be, that was 2 years ago. He would be Ernie Hudson's age, 75.
Yeah.
That
was always one of the things I questioned. I was like, hey, is Ernie? I'm not sure if Ernie's old enough to be the guy that you want him to be, but that makes sense. Makes sense there.
Okay, Instagram's being kind of crappy right now. I was trying to pull up. Duffman sent me some more photos, but apparently certain photos you can't view on the browser.
Really? From like a private photo that he sends you?
Yeah, like in our chat, if I threw a certain photo, certain files aren't coming through, but that's okay. I got other means of pulling it up if I have to. But no, he was just showing out some photos. I'm going to save them, and then I'll post them on another stream that I'm going to do probably next week. But yeah, I mean, it's the magic episode, or the magic, talking about, telling Ian, listen, I don't want you to read it. I want you to hear from me, because you can. I mean, it's just like text messaging. I could send a text, and a person can read it in whatever way, and it just comes off in a negative way, or might come off a certain kind of way. But when you're actually hearing it from a person's voice, you have to talk to someone over the phone, or like we are right now, you get that genuine reaction. The person's being real, or you can tell if someone's kind of holding things back. So, I mean, I really appreciated that. But what freaks me out is every time they're outside of the project, they're in a heavily populated area. Where the hell is the project? Where is it hiding? Is it like, I swear, it better not be hiding under like some little bookstore or a coffee shop or something,
It would make sense. I mean, I'm not sure how much of 24 you watched, but inside
I watched a lot of 24.
Yeah, well, the inside of Quantum
Jack Bauer.
gives me Jack Bauer season 1 through 4 vibes. But they never really gave away the location of CTU there. I can't claim to be a Jack Bauer head and can't remember the base. Well,
24 has been gone for a minute, so
it has been gone for a minute. It's been a minute since it was season 1 through 3.
Due for a reboot. What?
I mean, that actor's still around too, but
let him run the CTU. That's what I want.
Yeah.
do it. You know, get Kiefer back. He's done some TV shows like Designated Survivor and a few others.
Yeah, he got everything out of his system because you know you do kind of get tired of the same role. He did it for what 8 seasons, 9 seasons before they started shifting away.
Man, look at Supernatural.
Yeah,
15 years.
Yeah,
and you know, I mean, they didn't take a break. Padalecki doing Walker, Texas Ranger. I haven't watched that yet. I hear it's actually pretty decent, but
they're rebooting Walker, Texas Ranger.
The guy who played Sam on Supernatural plays Walker.
Oh, okay.
On CW, they already there was season 2 or something on there now.
Wow.
And you know, Jensen Ackles, he's producing The Winchesters, a prequel to Supernatural, which I really don't think is going to do well.
Yeah, especially when you got the main one going.
Well, it's the premise because the father never knew nothing about hunting until the mother was killed when the boys were born, and they're making it so that he is with her hunting. So I'm like, it's just no. When you force something down the throat, it's just not going to be good. But I mean, I can't wait. Like, I want to know more. I want to know more of like. What were some of the dreams that Magic had? Were these nightmares? Were these visions of Sam? Was maybe a part of Sam's ego in his head? You know, for all we know, part of Sam has been guiding Magic all this time. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But the Wild West show, I think the Wild West episode is going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where things go.
What's up?
So it's... You know, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's getting better. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Killer Mike just arrived. We're picking him up from football practice. So I'm going to start driving out. I don't know how
future superstar.
Future, Mike. Yeah, right. What's up, Killer Mike?
What's up, non-Wolfpackers?
We're Leapcasters. We're Leapcasters. Dave's Dimensions and the Leapcast.
You gotta get him watching the new show. See?
Yeah, right. He actually did get into season 1 of Quantum Leap, right? The original.
We got to season 3.
Season 3, really?
Season 3?
We went that deep. And
if you're that deep, you got to finish it off then.
Well, yeah. Well, what do you think stopped it? We went back to school. Was it during quarantine or?
I think it was. We started watching over the summer, I think, and then we just went back to school.
They're on DVD if we need them.
I mean, really, who needs school? No, I'm kidding.
Sam Beckett does. He's a quantum physicist.
Well, he's got what 5 doctorates. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
But so, what are you expecting for next week? What do you want to see happen next week? Should we say?
So next week we're getting the Wild West episode that they kind of sold us on, where it's looking like he's going as far back as he's ever been. I think stay within yourself. That's kind of a cheesy generic line, but stay within yourself. You're already going back to the Old West. Don't try to do too much. Even just in the trailer, even just in the preview, I'm kind of eyeballing things like, are they really there? Is it so? Like I saw the
you see the mountain. I was like, wait a minute, could that mountain be the mountain from the original? No.
I even went as far back as to zoom in on the singer, the sewing machine. You know, those things. If you work on them, they'll last 50, 60 years.
Oh yeah.
So it's my sister's actually got my grandmother's. It still runs.
See that's one thing. I was paying attention in this episode, like the taser. I'm like, was that taser really around in 1981?
I'm not sure. I remember seeing it in Bloodsport. I remember seeing one very similar in Bloodsport.
Yeah, but that was like that would be later.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. But I mean, like again, we got the cars. We got the 80s cars. We saw a few of them get shot at. I'm like, okay. They probably have a few dummy trunks that they swap out after they do all that. But I mean, I thought it was a good episode. I mean, we don't need fast-paced episodes each time. I mean, this one was very mellow. We didn't get any Janice. I mean, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen next. Are we going to see Janice in the next episode as a hologram? So we'll see what happens.
All right, do we
catch
get
up
audio
on chat
back?
here?
There we go. Yeah, sorry. That's us.
Yeah, we got a few people in the chat, like Francis here. Maybe they had episodes written already, and the newly added episode's going to be the second season, but now they can fit them in the first season. Yeah, it could definitely already be a continuation moving on. I'm going to rewatch the original series. Yeah, I mean, rewatch the original series because there are going to be more Easter eggs, and it's going to be popping up, where you're going to be caught off guard. You're like, hey, what's going on here? We got Wrestling Figure Talk with MCM. Hey, yo, Dave, where can I get that shirt at? Oh, this shirt. You can get that at my TeePublic. A link in the video description below. We got a few designs of Dave's Dimension there, if you guys want to get that. So we'll see what happens with that.
We're gonna have to pick up our very own Dave's Dimension shirt. I might cut the sleeve off though. It might be a gym tee. It might be a gym tee.
Well, don't they? I think they do tanks.
Okay, definitely check it out.
Yeah, we got Francis saying before the next stream, maybe I'll even talk a bit too on the next live stream. The stream is always open. With Quantum Leap, there's always room for more leapers. We got Rolando dropping some links here. Dartez.
Leaping halfway through ours. Crying out loud.
Dartez says he's even great in NCIS, New Orleans, Scott Bakula. Yeah, he's great in everything, man. He's done a few movies too.
Unnecessary roughness. Enough said.
I mean, the whole movie, just the whole movie is awesome. You'll never get past you, Mr. Blake. Hey, come on. And plus, that kicker.
Yes, Kathy Ireland. That one.
That kicker, man.
You're an armadillo, but not like the others. Yeah, good lines. Very quotable. A very young, is it Jason Bateman?
Yeah, he was like in his, I think that was maybe after he did Teen Wolf 2. He was still pretty young.
Yeah, it was after Teen Wolf. He dropped out for a little bit, and that he came back with that one. I'm not sure if he did anything for a while though after that, but yeah, he was in that.
Yeah, I mean Jason Bateman. Yeah, he did a few things. I mean, we had a very kind of beefed up Sinbad.
Yeah,
with the box Jerry curl cut with the.
Yeah, the comedic humor.
Yep. I mean, yeah, that's a classic. But he did a few was it Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions, where he was a detective. He did, he did a lot of stuff to kind of like get out of his comfort zone, but I don't think people really, Scott Bakula, like he didn't like. I guess they never found another show really to fit his niche until he made some appearances on another NBC series called Chuck. With was it Zach? I can't think of his name. The guy who plays Shazam, Zachary Levi. He played his father in the show, and and then he did NCIS New Orleans. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Just catching up here. There's one. Dartez says the Kennedy assassination episode was great. Yeah, when he was leaping in and out of Oswald in different points, that was a good episode. As long as they don't do I don't want them touching nine. What was that?
No, well, I was gonna say for anyone trying to catch up or trying to watch it and doesn't want to take a full stab at 5 seasons, 24 episodes a season. I mean, there's almost bullet points for every season, like key episode that you got to watch, and you're like, yep, I'm all in. Like the hurricane episode kind of stands out in my mind. The episode when they're kind of spoofing the Defiant ones, where they're two prison escape.
Tell you what, I'm gonna challenge you and Super Awesome Geek Show. Each of us are gonna have homework next week. I want us to pick out maybe the top 5 episodes of each season. So if someone wants to do a crash course, what would be the top 5 episodes you would recommend to someone? Because I think 3 would be too little, because you get 22 episodes to choose out of seasons 2, 3, 4, and 5. So
Now, would we be talking about progressing the story further, or just all around good episodes?
All around good episodes.
Because, I mean, there's some episodes that they were setting up something in season 2 that you're gonna find out about in season 4 and stuff like that. I don't know.
I mean, like you could say like, oh, Al's mention of his sister Trudy. Like obviously the Jimmy Lomonta one I think is a powerful episode. I'm gonna say all around episodes. 5 best all around episodes for anyone that wants like I'd say, if someone says, well, who is the Sam Beckett guy? What's the best qualities of him? What made him so good? Picking episodes like that. I think like top 5 episodes of each season I think is a good one. And I'm going to message John about that a little bit later. I think that's a good one because you get some channels maybe do Power Rangers are like, hey, what's the best order to watch the episodes, or what's the best seasons, or hey, I'm watching this, what should I do? I think 5 episodes of each season is pretty fair to pick.
Power Rangers is a great example of that because there's so many seasons or they just kind of veer off, and then you as a fan kind of wouldn't know where to pick up again. Yeah. If you dropped off for whatever reason, it's kind of hard to exactly know where to pick up again and where the storyline.
I mean, Legacy of a Nerd is a channel I just came recently. I became acquainted with. They're also on Facebook. He does a lot of Power Ranger stuff, but he does a lot of other stuff too. And he is actually going to be on T3 Collects on, I believe, Thursday. They're going to be doing a live stream featuring Legacy of a Nerd. He's got like he's got so much Power Ranger stuff. I mean, I even reached out to him about me and him doing a stream together to talk about the new Power Ranger season that's going to be coming out because they're bringing back some OGs.
So live action, huh?
From the original series, we're going to get Zach. We're getting Billy.
Wow. Walter T. Jones.
And David Yost. And we're getting Steve Ganderis, who played Rocky. And I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see who else. Oh, Catherine Sutherland, who played Kat. And we're going to get a new actress playing the Yellow Ranger, who's supposed to be playing the daughter of Trini.
Wow.
To kind of honor her a little bit. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And apparently the new season, which is a Cosmic Fury, which is a spinoff of Dino Fury, apparently that is only going to be like, I think 6 or 10 episodes total for the season. So maybe it's going to be more substance. It's going to be more story. We'll see what happens. It's the anniversary of Power Rangers, so God, we're old.
Yeah. I mean, I still remember episode 1. I still remember episode 1
back in 1993.
Yeah,
I was a freshman in high school, man. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, it's going to be interesting. But Quantum Leap, like, I'm in the mindset like, where are they taking us? Like, I'm still curious about like the hand link and what Janice is going to do. The more I think about it, yes, it does kind of look more and more like a imaging chamber, but part of me is wondering what else could she be building? Could she be building an accelerator, like a makeshift one? Because Mo Stein almost leaped himself with that makeshift.
Yeah, he came close. He came very close.
He had the glow for a few seconds and then it burned out. But
yeah, trying to think. I mean, it's similar to Tony Stark's dad, Howard Stark, sending him a message in Iron Man 2, where he's crippled by the science of his time.
Yep.
So there's a very good chance he could have got it.
Yep. Or maybe a descendant of his, like a grandson or something. We don't know. Right?
Yeah.
Anything is possible, man. By the way, I mean, what did you think of Ben finally remembering Addison, and will he remember her the next leap?
I think
in that context.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't put it in there unless he's gonna be able to retain, the information or the knowledge that he gains from leap to leap.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely there. I like it.
That definitely seems to be an improvement from the old show. Like the leaping, the leaping isn't that drastic. Like as far as the Swiss cheese memory, it doesn't seem that drastic anymore. So
yeah,
but
yeah. No, and it came it didn't seem coerced from Addison. It kind of it was all Ben. It was all Ben how that came out.
And of course they did the ghost moment when he like tries to reach for her. I'm like,
yeah.
But I mean, if anything, if they have the old files from Quantum Leap from the original project, since Addison was supposed to be the Leaper. Now, here's the question. Who at the project has access to those old files and actually knows that Sam once leaped to send Al back to the imaging chamber? Who's to say that Addison or someone couldn't step into the accelerator and kind of push Ben back to the project so they could get the truth from him with his restored memory? Just saying.
Yeah. I would think maybe with the trajectory that Ziggy's working on, that might muck things up a little bit, make the yarn ball touch a little more, as Al would describe it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it could definitely ruin, and whoever's leaping is definitely lost then.
Yeah.
We've mentioned sliders in the past. You reset the timer before it hits 0, you mess up the coordinates, and now you're sliding blindly. So
sliding forever.
So I mean, who knows? I mean, it's going to be interesting. And speaking of interesting, yes, Blue, this is live. We got the Squatch in the house. So, but yeah, it's getting good, man. We'll see what happens. Don, I don't know if you saw, but John did message me. Life happens, things happen with life, and we'll catch up with him next week. But
definitely. Hope everything's well with him. And yeah, we'll see him again next week.
Now, with the Wild West episode, Ben doesn't seem like someone who's even shot a Nerf gun before. So I mean,
well, okay, so they're gonna give him a little bit of leeway in this one because he's supposed to be an old man.
Yeah. We saw like the reflection where he's an older person.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, but yeah, Sam leaped into an older person before too.
As
the last gunfighter, yeah.
The other one, with the yep.
So I mean, we'll see what happens. Are they gonna pull some kind of trick, like maybe Addison is like standing right with them, and he has to watch her hand to figure like the trigger kind of thing?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens, but I mean, after the magic epiphany, I thought they were gonna maybe do it later on in the season, but they gave it to us in episode 4. So what else do they have waiting for us? So
I'd hate to be the wet blanket, but I think they're buttering us up to to Magic, to Ernie Hudson, kind of Ned Stark kind of a way. I'm not. I've said before that in the future it doesn't feel like there's a everyone's fairly safe in the future. There hasn't been a
not always
villain.
I mean, well, look at it this way. I mean, we had an episode where Al vanished for most of the episode.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can be erased, or their circumstances as far as their position at Project.
Yeah, no, that's true. When you're messing with time,
can be erased. So any number of things could happen. Ian could be replaced. Any number of things. I mean, who knows? What if Janice, nudges something in the past, and now it somehow makes it so that she is at the project, and then she's taking control, but no one knows. I mean, any number of things can happen. I mean, even changes in the past could make her change her mind and change her, being against the project to wanting to actually helping them out. I mean, hell, we could even see Magic jumping in if there's a chance that he can save Al, especially after learning that. No, he doesn't want to leave Sam behind. He wants to do everything he can, because if it wasn't for Sam, there would be no Magic. He would have been dead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you had the chance to save someone who saved you years ago, especially if, and we know Magic, and we also know Magic has daughters. He has family. Especially if there was something that threatened his family. Someone threatens your family, there's nothing you won't do. But now, also, like you mentioned, now that they're not going to take away the Addison Ben connection now, So now, how is Ben going to react when he has to kiss someone or be romantic with someone?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, Addison was like, well, Ben doesn't know any better because he doesn't remember me. Now he remembers me. Ben, what the?
Yeah.
It's
you want me to leave, don't you, honey?
that's going to be, that's going to be. I think that'll give us that sprinkle a little bit more comedy that a lot of fans have been asking for.
Yeah,
a lot
definitely.
of Facebookers have been complaining, oh, we don't have the comedy of the same show. Well, the dynamic is different. You don't just have two main players, you have a whole cast now. So you have to spread the story around. But I like having the two parallels. I like having the future and the past. And I'll be honest, in some episodes, it feels like Ben's kind of leap, like those stories are kind of slightly on the back burner a little bit. In the future, the present in 2022 is a little bit more in the forefront, but it should be, I think, because there's more meat and potatoes, as it were. There's more substance, because that's where we'll find out why is Ben going to where he's going. Why was he working with Janice? What's her name had talked to Addison. Oh, we checked his credit cards and we could see that he went here and he was here for so many days. We're thinking he was working with Janice, and why would he be doing this? What did he mention to you? Did he mention anything? And she doesn't know anything. So I mean, it's like there's a lot of questions in the present that need to be answered. So I think they're kind of justifying it. But I mean, we'll see if the leaps get more, I don't know, more personal in a way. Because with Sam, it was always like he took he realized that, okay, this isn't like, oh, if I do or I don't. No, I have to do this, not just because I want to leap, but because I want to help these people. I want to do everything I can while I'm here. While I'm here, I'm going to do everything I can to make a difference. With Ben, it doesn't seem like that just yet. Ben's like, well, what do I have to do to leap? It almost seems like, kind of like quarterbacks back in the day. They would do everything they could for the team. And then you get some football players nowadays who are like, well, it's a paycheck. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm still waiting to see we're only 4 episodes in, but I'm waiting to see the evolution of Ben. We're going to see Ben change, because something like that changes your characters. Sliders. Quinn Mallory was kind of like the nerdy guy, and then he wound up kind of being like the hero, taking chances, doing stuff you wouldn't see a nerd type person do. We've already seen sprinkles of that with Ben. Leaping off the damn space shuttle was just still my favorite scene with him so far. I'm controlling the leap. I mean, it's, we're starting to see things like some of the humanity, like he really wanted to get the couple together. But like I said, if the leapers don't remember, or the leapies don't remember, she's like, I didn't do that. Well, here, I got a picture of you saying yes. Well, I guess I said yes then. I guess I'm going with it.
I got a legal binding contract that says that you will marry me. Or that you did.
Or have the rules changed for the leapies, because if the project back in, the original project had their own safeguards and rules, did that now, since Ben threw the safeguards out, does that change how the leapies are afterwards? We don't know.
Yeah, well, I think with this new programming, it's you can write your way out of a lot of problems.
Oh yeah,
with
you don't have to provide exposition anymore. You don't have to explain anything.
Yeah, it's just new code. Ben put in new code, so it's different. One thing that I'm kind of like, I wouldn't go to that well too many times, is leaping too far back. Yeah, like the Old West one is cool, but then what's to stop you from ancient Rome, or what's to stop you from...
mentioned like King Arthur's court. Leaper in King Arthur's court. There was actually a novel, a quantum leap novel, where Sam supposedly leaped into like a medieval time or something. I never read that one, but and that's one thing I'm actually looking for right now, is the old quantum leap novels that came after the show. There was about maybe 15 or 18 of them written. And I'm trying to track them down right now, but they're they're not digital.
I was on a road trip back from Vegas with some buddies one time, and I had to sit in the middle, and it's about 11 hours of
oh geez.
Yeah, so we were at a gas station. I was like, give me anything. And I was like, Sam? All right, yeah, I'll read some Quantum Leap. I can't remember which one it was anymore. I can't remember where it's at anymore. But yeah, to pass the time, I did read a Quantum Leap novel.
They even had a comic book for by Innovation Comics for a short while. And me, like a idiot, I had a collection of Spider-Man comics in perfect condition, and I kind of needed money really badly at one point in time. And I was like, one guy I was working with, it was like he was big into comics. I was like, well, I kind of need to make some money. I have this stack of comics here, and that probably would be worth God knows how much now. I had the Maximum Clonage saga from Spider-Man with Carnage and the trial of Peter Parker and a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's like, and then I had 6 of the Quantum Leap novels still in the sleeves, perfect press, nothing wrinkled.
Nice.
If only we kept the stuff back then, right?
Well, I mean, there wouldn't be much room for anything else, but yeah. No, definitely.
But it's about 9:52 here. We're gonna wrap things up. Wolfpack, what do you got going on this week?
We just wrapped up. We did the British invasion last Saturday. Had like, God, I think I had like 10
all day long, man. You had a squad come through, man.
Yeah, we had about 10 of the UK blokes, male and female, pop in. We went 5 hours. 5 hours.
5 hours stream, man.
It's sad because I hate kicking people out, but then you want the next people to go, and it was extremely late for those guys, so they were troopers.
Well, yeah, over in the UK, yeah. I mean it was nighttime when you had the first people on practically.
Yeah. Yep. I think we're gonna keep the road to retirement going. I think we got episode 98 this Saturday. I haven't done any hunts this week.
What time is this Saturday? 11 o'clock.
I'm not sure if I'm working. So if I'm not working, it'll be at 2 o'clock my time, 5 yours. If I'm working, it'll be probably 8 o'clock mine, 11 yours.
I'm kicking myself today.
Why is that?
Sleeping posted, and I saw it on Amazon, but I didn't pull the trigger because I was at work and I actually couldn't find my wallet at the time. They had the Silk Doc Ock 2-pack for $39.
Nice.
I got home. Amazon. I went. They already took it down. It's back up to like 70 something. I'm like, nope. I'll play the long game. Hopefully, it's because Amazon's doing like some Prime sales this week.
Yeah. Black Friday's early, I guess.
I'm kicking myself. I'm like, I mean, hell, two Marvel Legends for $40. And it's Doc Ock, so that would have been perfect for my Spidey collection. So
that's 2017 pricing right there.
Yeah.
Do you have the Doc Ock from, what was that, the
I don't have any Ox.
HDMR? Not HDMR. I can't remember the red robot Build-A-Figure for Spider-Man. SPDR.
Okay, no, I don't have any of those. But I'm like, and I saw someone who did a really awesome modification to that Doc Ock, because like some of the mic and the cell phone holder stands that have like the metal coil that can bend. They've replaced his arms with those, so you can actually have Ock being held up by his own arms.
Yeah,
I'm like, man.
Yeah,
if I get one, I'm like, I gotta do that because I just think that would be sick.
Yeah, that's definitely the hack. You pretty much just do away with your old. I mean, there's hacks for the one you're looking for too. Is the boiling water, and then just kind of mold it to where you need, because he comes with the too long and the too short. It's like the shorts are fine, the longs are just big and overbearing. They kind of either make them tip over or just stand out in your shelf. But yeah, definitely that's a really cool hack. If you pop the off the ones that you're looking at now, if you pop the claws off, you can put them right onto the cords. Yeah, it'll look good. So
guys, right at the bottom of the screen, we got Wolfpack Toy Review right there. So check him out on Instagram and on YouTube, of course. He's on his road to retirement for now. He might come back like Jordan. I'm not going to say like Brady, because Brady's not looking too good right now. He's looking thinner.
Yeah. Nah, that was good.
I mean, yeah, he looks like he's wasting away, man. I don't know what's going on with him, but
hey, man, apparently he's a single man now, so it's the ladies are the ones that feed you. So,
hey, I mean, if that's the case, the divorce goes through, he'll definitely be trying to come back and make as much money as possible.
Yeah. You got to give half of that to Giselle.
He'll be over in Japan doing commercials. He'll be doing anything he can do to make some money.
Yep.
But and my boy Josh Allen last week.
Yeah, he lit a god. He freaking chucked that ball like clear across the stadium. I was like, oh my god. He's got a cannon. I didn't play fantasy football this year, but I rode Josh Allen to the playoffs last year.
And he's no joke, man. I'm still waiting for a chance to meet him in person because I got his rookie card right here.
Nice.
Courtesy of America's Most Wanted. His uncle is or was a Bills fan, and he had a couple extras. He sent me this. I'm like, okay, I'll take a Josh Allen rookie. Yeah, if I by chance come across him, get him to autograph it, it's a done deal.
hit up those cons right onto America's good people.
Yep. But so guys, check Wolfpack out this weekend. This weekend I am going to be MIA because got running around to do. Actually, I got a Ghostbusters event to do for like a lights on haunted house for they're calling them the Little Demons. So some daycares coming through, so we're going to be doing some events there. Buffalo Ghostbusters. If you guys want more information about the Buffalo Ghostbusters, check them out on Facebook at the Buffalo Ghostbusters, or look us up at thebuffaloghostbusters.com, which will route you right to our Facebook page. And that's where the Toys for Tots money is going to be going towards, because every year we raise money for Toys for Tots. Last year we raised, I want to say around $8,000. I think we actually got up to 10 last year. So it's what we do every year. We raise the money and we go on a massive shopping spree, and then everything goes directly towards the Marines so they can take the toys and pass it on to all the family. So we're going to be busy with that. And it's birthday weekend, turning to 4/4, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if I get some cool things. I am treating myself to one thing. The S21 Ultra is getting retired, and somebody's going for a Pro Max. So
nice. All right.
I gotta get myself something nice, Yeah,
treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself.
Oh. Helps if you don't unplug the headphones.
Yeah, right. And we're back.
So I am going to be, in fact, I got to record a video I don't have any videos this week, so I got to record something. I still have plenty to unbox. The Marvel Selects I unboxed last week they just look amazing. The Thor and the Venom up there with the multi-heads. I love that. I was actually at another shop that had some Marvel Selects for $25 a piece.
Which
they had
particular ones.
They had Venom, and they also had Punisher with the pinball machine.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of grabbing that one. I was going to grab Hulk, but they have him for a whole $99. I'm like, no. I'm
the Immortal Hulk, or which one?
Or Ragnarok, Gladiator Hulk.
I've got that. You said 100. It's going for?
Well, at the shop I was at, it's a little shop in Buffalo called that 80s Toy Shop. Some of the stuff, like, they have some good deals on it, but others, they know what they have.
Yeah.
Like the Witcher figures, the NECA Witcher figures that have already, or not the NECA, the McFarlanes, that have already been out. That, like, GameStop, my wife picked up a few for herself today for like, or they like $21 and then $50 off that. And they're selling them for $29. So, it's, the mom and pops, they got to sell them for what they can. I get that.
Well, it's if they don't sell, they just sit. That's why at the mom and pops you'll see like something that was at Target 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and they're still trying to sell it.
Yep. I mean, it's it is what it is. Me, like, honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do the long game on anything anymore, because like this past week, in fact, Legacy of a Nerd posted some pictures of some ripped open Marvel boxes. The no windows, people are ripping stuff up. I saw the red and black Spider-Man. I was, I've been looking for that figure, but the box is ripped open. I'm like, my wife's like, well, is this stuff still in there? I'm like, it kind of looks like it's in there, but I'm not going to take the chance now. And are they gonna let me buy a box that's been ripped open? I know for damn sure they ain't gonna mark it down, especially not the targets here. And it's like, it's like all you're seeing is just kind of like a lot of stuff is picked through.
Yeah.
Because we get some of the scalpers or we get the Canadians, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, coming down because it's cheaper, right? It's cheaper here than.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like even clothes, like you buy, like I worked retail for 14 years. You go in the mall supermarkets are filled with old clothes because Canadians will wear like the old, torn, dingy stuff. They'll buy the brand new stuff, take the tags off, and wear it back over the border. Or they get like, and they all drive the big SUVs with plenty of cargo space. You get my point.
Yeah.
And not, the border, they'll pull over an occasional vehicle, but that's about it, And what's the worst that they'll do? They'll just have to pay the taxes for it, but they're still paying less than they would over here, over there. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah. I've got an Ironheart, I guess deluxe or the $31 one. It's not even for me, it's for a nephew. I'm gonna have to open it and check it because there was 4 more at the store. If I wait till when I do give it to him and he opens it and then it turns out it's fudged up, it's gonna be that much harder to get it returned and find these guys still on shelves. This is the problem that Hasbro put us in with their windowless packaging, which is it's all a farce. Your product is made out of plastic.
Yeah. Well, like my wife today, when she was opened up, she got Ciri from The Witcher.
Yeah.
My wife loves The Witcher. So she was opening up Ciri. She's like, wow. She's like, did they have enough of these plastic ties on? I'm like, well, that's kind of what they do, unless you're Hasbro and you just put it. She was like, well, isn't it? Doesn't it have the ties there? I'm like, no. I mean, I told her, I said it's a figure wrapped in like a wax paper bag
and like some yarn too. I think, or
and you're basically in like cardboard keeps you in place. I mean, it's basically a mausoleum. You're in a coffin. You're pulling it out. You got to pull the body out of the body bag.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I'm like, I mean, but that's the thing. I mean, you can get. I still say McFarlane is a steal. I mean, what did I see today? I saw like I got to pick up that Red Lantern Batman. Just looks mean.
The one that I'm excited about for McFarlane is that Solomon Grundy. I
haven't seen that one yet.
I don't necessarily want to build the wave. I'm probably gonna like Catwoman. I like, and outside of that, I'm probably gonna look secondary markets for the pieces.
Isn't there like a new Shazam that's out too?
Yeah. Yep.
And I heard he looks pretty good. I haven't seen any pictures yet.
Yeah.
But we're gonna cut this. You have yourself a good night. Get some food.
Yep.
Have some family time. And you have yourself a good one. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, guys.
Deuces. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, for Ghost Warrior 38 for hopping in. Of course, the Leaper himself, Wolfpack Tour Reviews. And guys, don't forget, every Tuesday we do this 8 p.m. Eastern. So and this is an open stream. Anyone and everyone is invited to the stream. You guys just have to click the link and join. Just leap in, guys. That's all you have to do. And don't forget Quantum Leap every Monday night at 10 p.m. on NBC, or catch it the very next day on Peacock or the NBC app. And until next time, guys, you know what I'm going to say. Keep on busting, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. If I can find my outro. One of these days.
All right. One of these days. No, I'm not even going to. We'll get copywritten